story about a young man who grew up in a small town and really desperately wanted to make something of his life. And right after he graduated high school, he got a girl pregnant. And so he decides to stay in the town and raise his young daughter. The book takes place 6 years later. He has this young daughter that he really, really loves. The rest of his life that he really, really hates. And he's a bit of a lovable screw-up. The book is the book takes place over 1 week. Each chapter is a day, and that week, and each chapter in between is a flashback to kind of tell you how he got to this situation. And so I'm going to read a little piece from one of the flashback chapters. The girl that he got pregnant was not his girlfriend, and so in this week that the book takes place, his ex-girlfriend is coming back to town, and he's reminiscing on her a little bit. And so this is how they met the first time. It's in his sophomore year of high school. It was 4 weeks into the lackluster year when the new girl walked into biology. Eric felt a little bad for the girl, not because she looked kind of white trashy, but because her parents obviously didn't plan their move enough in advance to be sure she'd start the school year on time. Now she was coming in already behind in every class. He would have felt even worse for her if she seemed to care at all herself. When the teacher called on her, she simply said, "I don't know." She wasn't apologetic about it. Nothing in her voice said, "I wish I did know, and by God, I'm going to work hard until I do." They were just 3 words stating a simple fact: I don't know. Biolab was one of the few things Eric had been looking forward to that year. Biolab meant dissecting things and learning the intimate details of their working parts. Previous classes had gotten to choose their own lab partners, but this year Mr. Douglas had decided to do things differently. He was going to assign lab partners himself. It became obvious after about the 3rd pairing what he was doing. The smart kids, the ones who actually cared, were getting matched up with the, to put it generously, less enthusiastic kids. Eric was pissed. It wasn't his job to teach biology to some derelict who had no interest in learning. It was Mr. Douglas' job. "Eric, why don't you work with Jill here?" Mr. Douglas said. Eric didn't know anyone named Jill. There were only 30 people in the class and not one Jill. And he realized it was a new girl. Eric gave her a wave and started walking toward the counters in the back of the room. It could be worse, he thought to himself. He could have been stuck with someone completely unmanageable, someone like Tyrone Bungard, who'd probably just butcher the entire frog because he thought it was funny. At least the new girl, little Miss I Don't Know, seemed fairly apathetic. Maybe she'd just stay out of his way and let him take care of things. He watched her come toward him from his seat in the lab and noticed she wasn't quite as average as he'd initially thought. She was oblivious to the classroom of eyes watching her, and the way she moved tipped Eric off to something. Her "I don't know" was just a polite way of saying "I don't care." Nearly everyone, including Eric, wore shorts during that first few weeks of school, but this girl was wearing jeans that were faded, acid-washed maybe, and ripped at the knees. When she sat down at the stool next to Eric, the skin of her knee touched his bare leg. She looked him in the eye with something less than a smile and said, "Hi, I'm Jill." Her eyes were sort of green with a little bit of hazel going on as well. Eric didn't know why he noticed this. He couldn't tell you the color of anyone's eyes. Ex-girlfriends, family, buddies, even his own mother. Now he knew this girl, Jill, had greenish eyes and a very smooth, warm knee. "Hey, I'm Eric," he told her. "Hi, Eric. Well, I'm not very good at this stuff, so I hope I don't screw it up for you," she said. And there was something else different about this girl. She smelled odd. It wasn't like the other girls in class. They always smelled a certain way. Actually, most of them smelled the same, like they all wore some perfume called Teenage Girl. This girl smelled different, like, "What are you wearing?" "What?" she asked. "Like perfume, or what is that?" She looked at him like he was brain damaged. "Soap?" "Soap, that was it." She wasn't wearing perfume at all. "Oh yeah," he said as casually as he could. "Well, you smell great." "What?" He couldn't tell if she was amused or offended or what. She was probably just baffled. If she was, she'd just be catching up with him. He didn't know how to get out of this one. Telling someone who smelled like soap that they smelled great was just weird. But it was true, so he decided to stick with the truth. "Yeah, a lot of girls around here wear a lot of perfume, see, so I've never really smelled a girl who smelled like you." That didn't sound right either. Good try, but the spiraling eddy of weirdness was picking up speed. "I was under the impression they were teaming up smart kids with average kids on this project," she said. "If I'm supposed to be the smart kid, we're in a lot of trouble." No, I'm the smart kid," Eric said.